So what you can see here, class, right? Okay, you have ascending and also you have descending pathway or tracks over here. Okay, ascending, which is sensory, descending, which is motor. Clear, class? You have sensory pathway, at the same time you have motor pathway over here, right? So when this pathway, when this track pass through your brain, this region inside your brain over here, inside your cerebrum over here, not your brain, actually your cerebrum actually. Okay, okay. So this bundle of axon, which consists of sensory and also consists of motor pathway or motor axon. So this kind of bundle of axon ini yang kita panggil sebagai internal capsule. Okay, general descriptions. Okay, internal capsule basically bundle of axon, and it consists of sensory axon and also motor axons. Okay, that's the internal capsule. Okay, sensory meaning going up, which is the meaning in your functional area of your brain, which is cerebral cortex, whereas the motor, all right, or descending pathway, which is carry impulses, go to your brainstem or go to your spinal cord for executions of the movement untuk hasilkan pergerakan. So within the internal capsule, you have sensory pathway and also you have motor pathway. You have sensory axons and also you have motor axons, right? Within the mass of your cerebrum actually. Okay? So this is what we call as internal capsule. Right. Next. So when we talk about internal capsule, class, right? Absolutely, you need to know what is the exactly location of the internal capsule. Okay? What is the exactly location of the internal capsule? Now I try to cut. Okay, I try to make a transverse sections of the brain. Okay, I cut your brain like this. Okay, I cut your brain like this, right? Okay, transverse section of the brain, and this is what you can see the diagram of your brain actually. This is transverse sections of the brain actually. Okay, transverse sections of the brain. Right, this is anterior, this is posterior, right? Okay, right, you can imagine this is frontal lobe and posteriorly this is your occipital lobe, right? This is occipital lobe and this is your frontal lobe, right? Okay, laterally temporal lobes, right? Okay, so because this is the transverse sections of the brain, right? Now, absolutely within the mass of the white matter, centrally you can see this cavity, right? And this cavity we call as a third ventricles, and laterally, yes, class, you can see here, class, two masses of gray matter. Bilaterally, this is what we call as a, yes, class.
Very much.
Very good. So this is your thalamus, right? Lateral to your thalamus, absolutely, you have mass of gray matter, which is in the shape almost similar to the lens shape, class. And this is what we call as a, yes, class? Yes, class? You're very, very familiar.
Lentiform nuclei.
Very good. Lentiform nuclei, right? Lentiform nuclei. Laterally, you have putamen. And medially, you have globus pallidus, right? Globus pallidus, internus, and also externus, right? And anterior to your thalamus and also lentiform nuclei, right? Over here, class, you have another nuclei over here sitting, right? It's a C-shaped nuclei, okay? But when we cut this brain, right, you can see only one piece of this nuclei, right? Okay, should be this nuclei is C-shaped like this, right, okay, class? Right? It's a C-shaped nuclei, right? But when we cut this brain like this, right, you only can see this part only, this area only. You can see this region. You can see this nuclei, class. And this nuclei we call as a, yes, class?
Caudate nucleus.
Very good. Caudate nucleus, or more specifically, we call as a head of caudate nucleus, okay, or nuclei, okay? Because of, as you know, your caudate nucleus, you have head over here, right? You have head, you have body over here, body of caudate nuclei, and the last one is the terminal end of caudate nucleus. This is what we call as a tail of caudate nucleus, right? Tail of caudate nucleus, you can see it somewhere around here. Okay, yes, here, class, this one, this region. This refers to the tail of caudate nucleus. So this refers to the tail of caudate nucleus. Okay. So yes, this is your head of caudate nucleus. So by the way, this is caudate nucleus. Okay. So this is caudate nucleus. Now listen carefully. In between your thalamus and caudate nucleus medially, and also lentiform nucleus laterally, right? Over here, you can see bundle of axon, which is it compressed in between these structures. Okay. Yes, these structures. Right, and it curved, these structures almost curved, right? Which is it compressed in between your caudate nucleus and thalamus medially, and also lentiform nucleus laterally, right? So this bundle of axon over here, class. So this bundle of axons, right, bilaterally compressed in between lentiform nucleus laterally and also thalamus medially and also caudate nucleus medially. So this is what we call as a, yes class, this is what we call as a internal capsule. Okay, clear class or not? This is your internal capsule. Right, please. Right, now I try to enlarge this diagram, right, so that it's very, very clear. You can see every part of the internal capsule. Now, first thing, right, all right, this is your internal capsule, right? This is anterior, this is posterior. Okay, understood? Because this is transverse sections of the brain, transverse section of the cerebrum, right? So this is anterior and this is posterior. So this is your internal capsule, right? We enlarge this diagram, okay? We extract this diagram and we put here. So this internal capsule, all right? And then over here, absolutely, you have lens-shaped nuclei, which is, this is your lentiform nucleus or lentiform nuclei. Okay. Laterally, you have putamen. Medially, you have globus pallidus, externus, and also globus pallidus internus, right? All right, and then don't forget, yes, class, this is midline, right? So absolutely over here, you can see egg-shaped gray matter, mass of gray matter. This is your thalamus. And anteriorly over here, class, you can see piece of gray matter, which is this gray matter basically belongs to caudate nucleus, right? So this is midline. Okay, over here you can see this is your third ventricle over here. All right, so this is midline, okay, class, midline. Right. So what you can see here, so this is the real arrangements of the internal capsule. Okay, the real arrangement of the internal capsule. So when you want to explain about the position of internal capsule, class, right? Okay, listen carefully. Your internal capsule basically is located in between, number one, in between your lentiform nucleus sitting laterally, right? Sitting laterally, where, and also anteromedially, you can see this nuclei, which is, this is your caudate nuclei or caudate nucleus, right? Anteromedially. Whereas posteromedially, you can see this mass of gray matter, which is, this is your thalamus, right? So this is the exactly positions of the internal capsule. Internal capsule basically is located, which is on the lateral side. You can see lentiform nucleus. Okay, laterally you have lentiform nucleus, and anteromedially, di depan and di bahagian medial. Anteromedially you can see caudate nucleus, and posteromedially you can see mass of gray matter, which is your thalamus. So this is your internal capsule orientations. Right, now, back to your internal capsule. Your internal capsule basically consists of three parts. Number one, number two, number three. Three parts of internal capsule. right? The first part class, which is lying anteriorly. So this anterior part of the internal capsule, number one over here, this is what we call as anterior limb of internal capsule. Okay, number one, we refer to the anterior limb of internal capsule. Number three, class, number three, right? If this anterior limb, absolutely, number three, this is your posterior limb. Posterior limbs of internal capsule. And in between anterior limb and posterior limb, right, class, you have joint. You have joint in between these two limbs, right? You have junction in between anterior limb and posterior limb. And number two structure, basically, this is referred to genu of internal capsule. Genu means joint. Okay, genu means joint, joints of internal capsule. Right, so you have anterior limb, you have posterior limb, and also you have genu of internal capsule. Soalan second class. Very basic structures actually, right? But after this, the most important thing about internal capsule, when we discuss about what is the connection in between your internal capsule with your brain and also the rest of your central nervous system. Right. So far, any question class so far? Your internal capsule.
So far, no questions.
Clear class? No, meaning that whatever pathway or tracks within your cerebral hemisphere, if you want to connect any part between superior part and also inferior part of your brain, right? You don't have any pathway other than your internal capsule, right? Okay. Most of the fiber, for example, class, listen carefully, very, very important. You need to remember this concept. This is your brain, class, this is your brain stem, right? Okay. Whatever connection or pathway or track, whatever you want to call it, right? This pathway, whatever, right? If you want to carry any sensation from your spinal cord or maybe any sensation from your brainstem towards your cerebral cortex, everything must go through your internal capsule. Must go through your internal capsule because this is your internal capsule, right? In between here, this is your internal capsule. Okay, it forms the internal capsule. And also, right, whatever impulse from your motor area moving downward go to your brainstem, or maybe from your brain, your cerebral cortex, moving downward, go to your spinal cord. Every fiber for this motor pathway must go through your internal capsule. Okay, because your internal capsule, it has sensory as well motor fiber or motor neurons, okay, or motor axons, right? So these are the thing about your internal capsule. You don't have other highway rather than this fiber must go through your internal capsule. That's why internal capsule is very, very important, right? That's why if you have any problem, lesions of internal capsule, right, you must have serious problem, which is related to the sensory and also motor functions, right? Because this internal capsule is very, very important. Okay, one and only projection tract inside your cerebral white matter, right? Soalan second kelas, anything? Anything class so far?
So far clear, sir.
Clear, everyone? Clear? Now, I enlarge lagi this diagram class. Yes. Alright. I enlarge lagi this diagram. Because of kenapa saya enlarge this diagram? So that kita akan nampak apa tracks yang passing through you all punya each part of your internal capsule. Now kita akan lebih precisekan lagi this diagram class, right? So saya tak perlu draw in detail. I think you dah tahu, right? So this is anterior limb plus. So this is anterior limb of internal capsule. This is posterior limb internal capsule. And in between class, the junction will be your genu of internal capsule. Okay, genu means joint. Genu of internal capsule. First, we discuss about anterior limb of internal capsule. What kind of track passing through your anterior limb of internal capsule? This is very, very important, and also common question. I think favorite questions in your examinations, right? Where they want to discuss about internal capsule, and they ask you about what kind of tracks which is passing through your anterior limb of internal capsule, or maybe genuine of internal capsule, and maybe posterior limb of internal capsule, right? So now first we talk about anterior limb of internal capsule. Basically, anterior limb, listen carefully, anterior limb of internal capsule basically consists of tract mainly connect in between thalamus and also your frontal lobes of cerebrum. I repeat my statement, right? Please take note something. Please take note something somewhere else, right? Anterior limb basically consists of tract which is connect in between your thalamus and also your frontal lobes of the cerebrum. Okay, because anterior limb, you need to remember that mostly anterior limb of internal capsule basically is related to the frontal lobes actually. Okay, and this anterior limb basically you can divide. I can make something like, okay, I divide here class, right? Okay, like this. So I can divide into three part over here, class. All right, over here. So I put this part green color indicate one track passing through this region. This is, you can see this axon basket belongs to one track, and also again the same color over here. This to show you this is same tracks actually. Okay, and it's sitting medially and laterally to your anterior limb of internal capsule, meaning that, okay, when we talk about anterior limb of the capsule, right, on the medial surface and also lateral surface of anterior limb of internal capsule, basically you have same tracks actually passing through in this particular region, right? Okay, so this green color class, this track and this track, okay, passing through this region. So I put different. Okay, class. All right. Okay. So in this particular region, okay, and a lateral surface and also medial surface of the anterior internal capsule, this tract known as a frontopontine fiber or tracts. Okay, frontopontine fiber or frontopontine tracts. Okay, so again, can you see this word fronto, meaning that, right, these tracts basically originate from your frontal lobes of the cerebrum. Okay, okay, frontopontine fiber. Okay, don't worry. After this, I will try to draw for you. Right, what is frontopontine fiber? Right. So first, you need to remember, number one is frontopontine fiber. Number two, right, in between these two fibers, centrally, you have another fiber over here, class. This fiber, centrally located within the anterior limb of the capsule. So this fiber, this tract, we call as thalamocortical fiber. Okay, thalamocortical fiber, right? Meaning that the first one is coming from frontal lobes. Number two is coming from the thalamus, actually, right? Up and down. This one descending, moving downward, and thalamocortical is ascending, moving towards your cortex. Okay, so okay, I draw for you simple diagram over here. Okay, listen carefully. What is frontopontine fiber actually, class? Frontopontine fiber. Okay, frontopontine fiber, right, actually is a bundle of axon, basically coming from where? Coming from the motor cortex. Okay, okay, it's coming from the primary motor area, it's coming from the premotor area, and also it's coming from the supplementary motor area. By the way, this frontopontine fiber, can you see, class? This is your frontal lobes, am I right? This is your frontal lobe, right? So this frontopontine fiber basically coming from where? Coming from motor cortex, which is, as you know, motor cortex belongs to frontal lobes, right? So frontopontine fiber basically coming from the frontal lobes, specifically from the motor cortex, and it moving downward, and terminate in your pons. This is your pons, right? This is your pons. Why we call it as a pontine class? Pontine basically refer to pons, which is this nuclei of the pons. This is what we call as a pontine nuclei. Okay, pontine nuclei, right? Don't worry, right? After this, when we talk about brainstem structure, right, we will talk in detail what is pontine nuclei. Now, by the way, right, I just want to show you that frontopontine fiber is a fiber of neuron basically originate from the motor cortex of the frontal lobe, and it's terminate into pontine nuclei. And this pontine nuclei basically belongs to pons structure. Okay, pontine nuclei, right? And also from pontine nuclei class, this is how input from the motor cortex basically has been transmitted to your, yes class? Apa nama structure ni class? Sorry. Yes class? Posterior to your mid brainstem. Yes class? This structure you call as a, yes? Posterior to brainstem. Yes class? Pardon? Yes? Very good. Cerebrum. Alright. These are the connection in between. This is very, very important connections, right? In between your cerebellum and also your cerebrum. In between your cerebellum and also your motor cortex. Right? Because as you know, cerebellum is very, very important in term of, yes, in term of proprioception. Proprioception. What is proprioception, class? What is proprioception? Yes? One type of sensations, right? What is proprioception, class? Sensation which is coming from proprioception is a type of sensation which is coming from hello, anyone? Yes, class? Who knows? What is proprioceptions? It's a sensations, right? Coming from where? Coming from where?
Nervous system.
Coming from nervous system.
Joint corpuscle.
All right, okay. Listen carefully, right? This is how you want to define what is proprioceptions. Proprioception is a type of sensations which is coming from where? It's coming from musculoskeletal system. It's coming from musculoskeletal system. It's a type of sensation which is coming from where, class? Number one, it's coming from your muscle spindle, right? Your muscles. Number two, it's coming from where, class? It's coming from your tendon. And also the third one is class. It's coming from where, class? It's coming
Joints.
very good. It's coming from your joint capsule. Right? So this is what we call as a proprioception class, right? These are the role of your cerebellum. Receive information which is regarding to your any situations, any condition which is related to the musculoskeletal system. Now, by the way, back to your pontine nuclei, right? From the frontal lobes of the cerebrum, right? Specifically your motor cortex, right? So this fiber coming down and terminate in your pontine nucleus of the pons. So this fiber of tracks, this fiber of axon, this is what we call as a frontopontine fiber. Okay, it carry information from the motor cortex and terminate inside your cerebellum. Okay, terminate inside your cerebellum. Now, by the way, right? Hopefully, you can remember this track, which is we call as a frontopontine fiber. Now, by the way, right? Okay, after this, when we talk about brainstem and cerebellum, you will understand more. For the time being, right? The main concern is we want to discuss about this track, which is we call as a frontopontine fiber. This frontopontine fiber basically passing through your anterior limb of internal capsule. Okay, it passing through your anterior limb of internal capsule. That's number one. Number two, second tracks, which is passing through your anterior limb of internal capsule, which is we call as a thalamocortical fiber. Okay, thalamocortical fiber. Again, I draw to you for you same diagram, simple diagram. Okay. Okay, thalamocortical fiber. All right. Okay, class. This thalamocortical fiber, this is not the first time you heard about this track. Am I right, class? When you heard and when you learn about this track, when we talk about basal ganglia connection, basal ganglia connection, class, right? Still remember, class, thalamocortical fiber. Class, thalamocortical fiber. Am I right?
And
Yes. Can you describe for me what is thalamocortical fiber? It coming from where and terminate at which region is thalamocortical fiber?
From thalamus.
Yeah, very good. From thalamus. Yeah, it coming from thalamus, right? Next question. Which nuclei? Yes, class. Which nuclei? Yes, nuclei. Yes, class.
Glutamate, sir.
Which nuclei of thalamus related to thalamocortical fiber?
Glutamate. Okay.
Which nuclei of thalamus? It's not type of neuron, type of fiber. It's a glutaminergic fiber, very good, right? Because thalamocortical fiber basically is glutaminergic fiber, right? Okay? It releases glutamate within your cerebral cortex. Now, by the way, right, I'm asking you, right, what type of thalamic nuclei which is responsible or contribute to this tract, to this fiber? Thalamocortical fiber, it coming from which nuclei of thalamus?
Ventral anterior nuclei.
And also ventral anterior,
Lateral.
very
Lateral
good.
nuclei.
Ventral anterior and also ventral lateral nuclei of thalamus. Yes, absolutely. We discussed before about this tract, am I right? We call as a thalamocortical fiber. Okay, where this thalamocortical fiber basically coming from where? Ventral anterior nuclei and also ventral lateral nuclei of thalamus, and it stimulates our motor cortex. It stimulates our motor cortex, right? Your premotor area, right? It stimulates your supplementary motor area, and also it's very, very important. It stimulates our primary motor area, right? To execute the movement. Okay, so this is what we call as a thalamocortical fiber. Okay, this is what we call as a thalamocortical fiber. Okay, so you can imagine that, class. You can imagine, right? So this bundle of axon over here, this one, right? It it ascends superiorly, it moving upward, right? And form your internal capsule. So this is your internal capsule, right? But the thing is, what type of internal capsule? Anterior limb of internal capsule. It form our, yes class, it form our, you can imagine over here, this is anterior limb, this is genu, this is posterior limb. It form our anterior limb of internal capsule, okay? Where this fiber basically coming from where? Ventral anterior and also ventral lateral nuclei of thalamus class, right? So now please remember that anterior limb of internal capsule consists of two tracts. Number one, frontopontine fiber coming from the motor cortex of the frontal lobe and terminate in your pontine nuclei of the pons. Number two, you have thalamocortical fiber, which is coming from where? Coming from ventral anterior and also ventral lateral nuclei of thalamus and terminate dekat mana kelas? Same thing, it terminate inside your motor cortex of the frontal lobes. Okay, that's why somehow this thalamocortical fiber juga kita boleh panggil sebagai thalamofrontal fiber. Okay, because this connection mainly to your frontal lobes. Why frontal lobe? Because motor cortex basically sitting inside your frontal lobe, that's right. Okay kelas, so far soalan saya ni. Okay, this is what you call as an anterior limb internal capsule. Yes class, anything? So do you have any question class regarding anterior limb internal capsule?
No, sir.
Clear everyone class?
Yeah.
Okay, good, very good. Next. Okay, now we go to the more detailed areas, which is we talk about what is posterior limb and also what is genu of internal capsule class, right? Now I try to separate this genu and posterior limb first class. Okay, so as you know, this is lateral, this is medial, right? Okay, I separate this internal capsule like this. All right. So meaning that over here, you have one tract over here, class. All right. Number two, you have tract over here, class. This one. Okay, sitting in the substance of the genu of internal capsule. Number three, you have tract sitting over here, class, which is medially to your posterior limb internal capsule. Right. So now, now we talk about genu of internal capsule, right? Second, we talk about genu of internal capsule, right? The joints in between anterior limb and also posterior limb of internal capsule. Okay, listen carefully. Genu of internal capsule basically consists of motor fiber. Okay, consists of motor fiber or motor tracts or descending tracts. Okay, genu of internal capsule consists of motor fiber, ataupun you can call it as a descending fiber or descending tracts. Okay, but specifically this genu of internal capsule basically consists of tracts yang mana this tract kita panggil sebagai corticobulbar or corticonuclear tracts. Okay, listen carefully. This genu basically consists of motor fiber, and this motor fiber kita panggil sebagai corticobulbar, ataupun we can call as a corticonuclear fiber or tracts. Okay, corticobulbar tracts ataupun corticonuclear tract. And please you need to remember ini merupakan motor fiber, motor tracts. Okay? Dia adalah motor tracts. Okay. What is corticobulbar tract? What is corticonuclear tract? Listen carefully, class. Corticobulbar tract and also corticonuclear tract. I draw simple diagram over here, class, to show you what is corticobulbar ataupun corticonuclear tracts. This is your face, right? Absolutely, this is your brain. Your brain stem, right? Over here, this is your spinal cord, the cerebrum over here. Okay, plus, first thing that you should know is absolutely coming from where? It's absolutely coming from your primary motor area, right? Your precentral gyrus over here, class. Okay, so these are the origins, right? Your precentral gyrus over here. Okay, so meaning that this area basically you call as a, yes, class, you call as a primary motor area, right? Boltzmann area number, primary motor area, Boltzmann area number. Yes, class. Functional area of the cerebrum. Primary motor area, basically, you based on Boltzmann area, it belongs to which area? Number?
4.
Very good.
Oh.
Number 4, right? Again, you need to remember every numbers of the Boltzmann area, right? So corticobulbar tract basically coming from where? Primary motor area, Boltzmann area number 4, right? Okay. And this corticobulbar tract, now we talk about corticobulbar tract. Now I explain about what is corticobulbar tract, class, right? At least you can visualize on your own, okay? And what is the relationship between this corticobulbar tract and also genu of internal capsule. So this is how the fiber coming from the primary motor area, area number 4. It moving downward, and it form genu of internal capsule. And then this fiber basically terminate dekat mana, kelas? It terminate dekat you all punya midbrain, it terminate dekat you all punya medulla oblongata, and also it terminate dekat you all punya pons, everything. It terminate dekat you all punya midbrain, pons, and also medulla oblongata. Now, by the way, right, the thing is that you should know is this fiber, this corticobulbar tract basically terminate dekat mana? Brainstem. Okay? Dia terminate dekat brainstem. Okay, so that's why this structure kita panggil this fiber we call it as a corticobulbar. That bulbar basically refer to the brainstem. Bulbar bulb area basically refer to the brainstem because brainstem basically is a bulb area. It's a swollen area of your central nervous system. That's how we call as a bulbar, corticobulbar tract. Okay, and the fiber which is coming from brainstem, okay, akan stimulate, yes, class, akan stimulate every muscles which is related to your head. Okay, anything, right? Facial expression muscles, right? Your ocular muscles, right? Your swallowing muscles, everything. Okay? Through your, yes, class, apa nama nerve class? Through your cranial nerve. Okay, through your cranial. Bukan semua. Only most of the cranial nerve, tapi bukan semua. No, tetap itu bukan kita punya point kita. Yang saya nak tekankan sekarang adalah this genu basically menjadi tempat laluan this tract. Tract ini you call as a corticobulbar tract. Okay, corticobulbar tract. Okay, what is corticobulbar tract? Corticobulbar tract is a tract which basically coming from primary motor area number 4. Lebih tepat lagi, kelas, dekat bahagian mana primary motor area ni, kelas? Medial surface of the primary motor area, which is primary motor area yang control you all punya head and neck muscles. Okay, head and also neck muscle. Okay, which is medial surface of the primary motor area. All right, head and neck areas, right? Okay, so so lateral surface of the primary motor area, not medial, lateral surface of primary motor area. Okay, this is how the corticobulbar tracts they originate. So from here, this fiber moving downward. Once they're moving downward, class, right? Once they're moving downward, dia akan membuat a bundle of axons. Am I right? You can imagine, ini adalah bundle of axon everything. And this bundle of axons kita panggil sebagai, yes, class, kita panggil sebagai genu of internal capsule. Okay, genu of internal capsule. And then after that, this fiber akan terminate dekat mana? Akan brainstem. Terminate within the brainstem. And after that, the fiber which is coming from brainstem akan keluar and stimulate you all punya head muscles and also neck muscle plus, right? So itu yang kita panggil sebagai corticobulbar tract. Don't worry, right? After this, bila you learn about tracts, topic tracts, kita akan bincang in detail apa itu corticobulbar tract ataupun apa itu corticonuclear tracts. Somehow, at this point, you know genu is a place where the corticobulbar tract passing through from the primary motor area and moving towards the brainstem. And corticobulbar tract is very, very important untuk control your head muscles and also your neck muscle class. That's all. Itu adalah genu. Soalan saya akan bahas. Okay, class. Soalan. Soalan.
Okay, sir, okay.
Clear, class?
Yes.
Yes. Sir,
Yeah.
kalau soalan dia suruh terangkan pasal corticobulbar, maksudnya kita kena terangkan yang tadi lah. Dia coming from...
No. Don't worry. In this topic, right, saya tak akan tanya you apakah itu corticobulbar tract because itu adalah different topic actually. Itu adalah topik bila you belajar mengenai topik tracts nanti. Bila you bercakap mengenai topik tracts nanti, yes, dia akan bertanya you nanti, what is corticobulbar tracts? Because sekarang ni kita bercakap mengenai internal capsule. Kita kena tahu every part of internal capsule ni apa tracts yang passing through. Apakah tracts yang melalui kawasan tersebut. Okay? That's why kita akan ignore about tracts itu in detail how they connect semua tak. For the time being, saya tak sentuh lagi benda-benda yang macam itu. Yang saya touch hanyalah genu itu apa yang lalu. Tetapi saya bagi satu introduction atau satu knowledge yang sangat basic yang menerangkan corticobulbar itu apa dia. Saya beritahu dekat you adalah corticobulbar tract adalah berorigin from where? From primary motor area yang control head and neck muscle and dia terminate dekat brainstem. Itu sahaja. Yang mana corticobulbar tract ini adalah penting untuk control your head and also your neck muscles. Itu sahaja. Because of corticobulbar tract ni dia lebih detail. Kalau dia belajar in detail, laluan dia, right? Which nuclei yang berkaitan dengan dia, right? Kalau saya tanya dekat you, apa cranial nerve yang related dengan corticobulbar tracts? Because in this case, saya hanya berkata cranial nerve sahaja. Because as we know, we have 12 pair of cranial nerve. Which cranial nerve yang involved untuk corticobulbar tracts you? Okay? Mesti ada, am I right kan? Tetapi saya tak touch benda-benda yang detail macam tu. Saya belum lagi touch in detail. Yang saya nak you tahu adalah corticobulbar tracts originate from the primary motor area which is control head and neck muscles and terminate inside your brainstem. Full stop. This connection is very, very important untuk control head and neck movement. Itu sahaja. Because the main concern is, saya nak you all tahu adalah genu itu apa yang lalu sahaja. Faham? You akan touch in detail this tract bila you learn topic tracts nanti soon. Because bila you nak belajar mengenai topic tracts, you kena tahu every part of central nervous system. Bila you dah belajar detail, cerebrum, diencephalon, brainstem, cerebrum, and also spinal cord, you tahu everything, barulah kita akan start untuk ajar you berkaitan dengan tracts itu macam mana. Because tracts involve semua structure pada central nervous system. That's why at this point, saya tak nak you tahu how connection itu berlaku for the time being. Apa nuklei yang berkaitan? No. For the time being, you tak boleh tahu benda tu. Yang saya nak tahu adalah secara generalnya, tracts itu from where to where, full stop. And this tract passing through which part of internal capsule? In this case, genu of internal capsule. Okay, understand?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yes, tapi ada possible ke soalan ni keluar? Yes, ada possible, right? Kalau tak keluar dekat internal capsule, dia akan keluar dekat topic tract. Absolutely, dekat tract akan tanya you benda macam ni. Okay, because we have a lot of tracts, right? Whether ascending ataupun descending. And each tract ada possible untuk keluar lah, so you can tahu. Okay? Because corticobulbar tract adalah one of the biggest tract, motor tracts, yang carry impulse from the primary motor area to your neck and head muscles. So you can tahu after this. Alright, next. Next, the last one is kita pergi ke bahagi yang paling besar. The biggest part of internal capsule will be your posterior lip of internal capsule. Capsule of capsule, you can imagine a lot of nerve fiber, a lot of axon basically passing through your posterior of internal capsule. Okay, meaning that banyak track passing through this posterior of the capsule. Anterior limb, only two fiber yang passing through, frontopontine and also thalamocortical fiber, right? Whereas genu, the smallest one, which is only passing through one fiber, which is corticobulbar tract ataupun corticonuclear tract. Tetapi the rest of the fiber adalah posterior limb internal capsule yang akan cross. Okay. Banyak tracks yang naik ataupun turun daripada you punya brain you melalui posterior limb of internal capsule. Alright? That's why you should know every track yang passing through. Walaupun you tak boleh describe in detail for the time being, tetapi you tahu apa tracks yang melalui posterior limb internal capsule. Okay? Alright, this posterior limb of internal capsule saya divide into two. Okay, saya divide into two class. Why saya divide into two class? Because of medially over here, ini merupakan motor fiber yang lalu. Kawasan ini adalah tempat laluan motor fiber atau motor tract. Whereas laterally, ini adalah tempat laluan sensory fiber. Ini general. Don't worry, after saya akan beritahu in detail apa tracks yang melalui this posterior internal capsule. So saya divide into two. Kalau you tengok gambar aja saya ni, this motor fiber, so this posterior limb of internal capsule ini kelas, posterior limb of internal capsule pada bahagian medial ini, actually dia adalah continuous daripada you open genu. Nampak tak? Actually dia bersama dengan genu sebenarnya. Because as you know, genu pun adalah motor tracks. Bila dia continuous, meaning that posterior limb juga adalah mempunyai motor tracks. Faham tak kelas? Logic, right? Genu adalah motor tracks, consist of motor tracks, iaitu corticobulbar atau corticonuclear tract. Because they continuous the posteriorly as a motor tract juga, that's why this posterior limb juga mempunyai motor tracks class. Okay, that's why I draw macam ni. Okay, they continuous directly from the genu of internal capsule. Right. Now, this posterior limb of internal capsule ini kelas, yang kita draw ini kelas, yang saya draw yang green in color ini kelas, dia adalah motor tracks. In this case, this motor tracks belongs to posterior limb, yang mana dia passing through your posterior limb, kita panggil sebagai corticospinal tracts. Okay, corticospinal tract class, right? Okay, I think saya boleh gunakan this diagram, same diagram. Okay, saya gunakan this diagram, diagram yang sama. Same thing, coming from where? Cortico, which is coming from where? Primary motor area. Okay, this corticospinal tract. Why cortico? It coming from the cortex. Which cortex? Primary motor area of the cerebral cortex, cortico. This fiber akan coming down, akan membentuk internal capsule. Dia akan membentuk you punya internal capsule. Tetapi sekarang ini internal capsule ini which part? Posteriorly internal capsule. Kalau corticobulbar ini dia membentuk genu of internal capsule, tetapi corticospinal tract ini dia membentuk posterior limb internal capsule. I hope you imagine. Okay. Tadi corticobulbar, this fiber melalui genu, moving downward and membentuk genu. This corticospinal tract dia akan moving downward dan dia membentuk posterior limb internal capsule, right? So you imagine macam tu, right? Ini tadi. Ini adalah corticobulbar tract, whereas yang ini pula kelas, yang ini dia melalui ini, yes, dia akan moving downward, dan ini merupakan corticospinal tract. Okay, corticospinal. I hope you found this diagram class. Dia coming from where? Kedua sama. Dia coming from primary motor area. Okay, primary motor area. Right, next. This corticospinal, namun pun corticospinal, which is they coming from primary motor area, they're passing through your brainstem. Ignore about your brainstem because ini bukan corticobulbar. Dia akan terminate kat mana? Dia akan terminate dekat you all punya spinal cord. Okay. From spinal cord, apa yang berlaku kelas? The lower motor neuron, right? Through your spinal akan keluar and akan stimulate your trunk muscles, your upper limb muscles and also your lower limb muscle class. Okay, so bila kita bercakap mengenai motor fiber class, motor tract ataupun descending tract class, you have two fibers, you have two tracks, which is originate from where? Primary motor area of the cerebral cortex. Number one, we have corticobulbar tracts, which is corticobulbar tracts melalui genu of internal capsule, terminate inside your brainstem and stimulate your head and neck muscles. That's number one. Number two, we have corticospinal tracts coming from where? Primary motor area, moving downward, membentuk you all punya posterior limb internal capsule, cross your brainstem and terminate dekat mana? Dekat you all punya spinal cord. So you all punya lower motor neuron coming from spinal cord akan stimulate you all punya trunk, upper limb and also lower limb muscles class. Okay. You faham corticobulbar tracts, you faham corticospinal tracts. Dua-dua adalah sama. Because why? Kedua-duanya mempunyai origin yang sama pada primary motor area. Beza dia location sahaja kelas. Itu sahaja kelas. Tetapi kedua-duanya adalah motor fiber. Apa beza dia? Satu melalui genu, satu melalui posterior intercapsule. Satu terminate inside your brainstem, satu lagi terminate inside your spinal cord. Satu stimulate head and neck muscle, satu lagi stimulate trunk, upper limb, lower limb muscle class. Okay. Faham setakat ni kelas? Anything?
Faham, sir.
Clear kelas setakat ni?
Yeah.
Alright. I think I can draw yeah, I think it should be okay. For the topic, I think it should be okay, right? I think you faham this schematic diagram class. And the last one, now kita akan bercakap tentang sensory fiber, sensory tracts, okay, which is from your posterior limb internal capsule laterally, right, class. Okay, ini a bit tricky because of bila kita bercakap mengenai sensory fiber, kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4. Kita ada 4 tracks yang akan passing through your posterior internal capsule and terminate dekat kita punya somatic sensory area pada you all punya brains you all. Okay, listen carefully, class. Okay, simple diagrams to show you about sensory system, somatic sensory system. Yes, class. Apa nama sulcus ni? Yes, class. Apa nama sulcus, class? This one? Yes. This sulcus known as a, yes?
Central sulcus.
Very good. Central sulcus, right? This is your central sulcus. Structurally, posterior to central sulcus, apa nama structure ni, kelas?
Post-central sulcus.
Okay, very good. This is post-central sulcus. In between central sulcus and post-central sulcus, yes, class? This region known as a?
Pre-central sulcus.
This is central sulcus. This is post-central sulcus. In between central sulcus. Very good. Post-central gyrus. Alright, maybe I can draw for you one thing here. This is pre-central sulcus, central sulcus, post-central sulcus, right? Central sulcus, post-central sulcus, in between here, this is your post-central gyrus. Next. Functionally, this region known as a? Functionally.
Primary somatosensory area.
Yeah, this is what we concern. Primary somatosensory area. Area number? Grossman area number?
213.
Pardon?
213.
You shouldn't, the numbering actually should be from 3, 1, 2.
2.
Yes, 3, 1, 2, right? The number should be 3, 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, right? All right. primary somatosensory area. Okay, listen carefully. Right? Primary somatosensory area is this one of the functional area of the brain when it receives any sensation which is regarding your somatic sensation. When we talk about somatic sensation class, somatic sensations, okay, somatic sensations, absolutely. What is somatic sensation? Number one, tactile sensations, right? Okay,
Yes.
yes, right. This is something like revision for you. Tactile sensation, right? Whatever sensation which is derived from your skin, which is related to touch, right? You have fine touch, right? You have fine touch, you have crude touch, right? You have vibration, you have pressure, right? Okay, this is what we call as a tactile sensations, right? Okay, next we call as a nociception. What is nociception, class?
Pain.
Pain. Very good, pain. Next, we have thermal sensation, which is hot and also cold sensations, right? And also the last one, we have sensation which is coming from muscular,
Proprioception.
very good, coming from musculoskeletal system, which is we call as a proprioception. Okay, all these things we call as a somatic sensation. Can you see, class, right? In order to carry all these sensation, class, meaning that you must have multiple tracks which carry all these sensation. You must have multiple tracks which carry all these sensation. Right? So I draw lagi gambar lagi, saya akan further draw this diagram. Alright. Okay. First tracks yang saya nak you all tahu adalah okay, from where? Sensation which is derived from where, class? From your face. Okay, from your face. Okay, so you can imagine this is your head, this is your arm, your trunk, and also this is your pelvic, and so your lower limb, your class, right? This is your lower limb, right? Yeah? Okay, first, let me introduce to you one track which is coming from where? Coming from your head sensation, head and neck sensation, class. Head and also your neck. This is ganglion and enter your brainstem. Okay, enter your brainstem. And don't forget, class, whatever sensation which go to your cerebral cortex, right? Everything must go through your, yes, class? Thalamus. That's why, because thalamus we call as a sensory relay stations. Okay, we call it as a sensory relay station. When we talk about sensations, any sensation, in order to reach your cerebral cortex, everything must go through your thalamus first. That's why thalamus we call as a sensory relay station. Okay, sensory relay station. These tracks yang saya draw untuk you all ni adalah coming from where? They coming from your head and also your neck. Okay, enter your brainstem. Not this level, saya nak you tahu dia enter brainstem sahaja dulu. Nanti bila kita cakap mengenai tracks in detail, baru you tahu which part of brainstem yang dia akan masuk. For the time being, this track enter your brainstem. From brainstem, what you can see here, class. Okay. Ada tracks yang naik pergi ke you all punya, pergi ke mana, kelas? Pergi ke you all punya thalamus. This green color track ini, kelas, coming from brainstem, go to your thalamus, which is carry sensation from head and neck. Okay, so this bundle of axon, saya buat green in color ni, kelas. Ini mewakili tracks yang mana track ini kita panggil sebagai trigeminothalamic tract. Okay, trigeminothalamic tract. Okay, trigeminothalamic tracts. Okay, terminate dekat mana kelas? Dekat thalamus. From thalamus, absolutely kelas, they can go to your primary somatosensory area of cerebral cortex kelas. So apa yang kita concern sekarang adalah tracts ini. Ini tracts ini. Ini tracts ini. So tracts ini kita panggil sebagai trigeminothalamic tracts. That's the first one. Meaning that bila kita bercakap mengenai somatic, bila kita cakap mengenai posterior limb internal capsule kelas, posterior limb internal capsule kelas, one of the fiber yang carry sensation and membentuk posterior limb of internal capsule adalah trigeminothalamic tracts. Okay? Okay? Membentuk fiber yang mana fiber ini akan membentuk trigeminothalamic, membentuk your punya posterior limb internal capsule. Okay, the first one class. Right. Second fiber adalah, okay, saya buat different color over here. Okay. Second fiber adalah coming from where? It coming from your upper limb. It coming from the truncus. It coming from your lower limb region. Alright. This fiber coming from the trunk, upper limb, lower limb, and lower limb, and it enter. This is the ganglion. Okay, the sensory ganglion, and it enter your spinal cord and terminate dekat you all punya brain stems you all class. And from brain stem, this fiber akan go to your thalamus. Alright. Okay, nampak tak class? This right. Okay, tracts ini carry sensation from where? It carry sensation from your upper limb, truncus, and lower limb. Enter your spinal cord and terminate by the brainstem. Now, this tract after enter your brainstem, ini kelas, this fiber akan moving upward again. Mesti akan pergi ke mana? You all punya thalamus you all. Mesti pergi ke you all punya thalamus. Okay. So this fiber of neuron kelas ini from spinal cord sampailah ke thalamus ini kelas ini. Everything ini. All these tracts start from spinal cord sampailah ke your thalamus ini, keseluruhan ini. Semua tracts ini akan carry sensation from where? Upper limb, lower limb, dan juga truncus. So all these tracts, okay, keseluruhan ini kelas from spinal cord sampailah ke you punya thalamus. Okay, saya pandang this arrow. Okay, the gray color neuron. Okay. This fiber of neuron, this tract yang carry this sensation, kita panggil sebagai posterior column medial lemniscus. Okay, don't worry, right? Okay, you will learn in detail after this when we learn about topic, tracks topic. Okay, for the time being, saya nak beritahu sahaja posterior limb of internal capsule consists of fiber yang carry sensation, and that fiber adalah number 1, trigeminothalamic tract, number 2 adalah posterior column medial lemniscus tract. Okay, posterior column medial lemniscus tract class, right? Trigeminothalamic tract carry all the somatic sensation from head and neck areas, whereas the posterior column medial lemniscus basically carry sensation from where class? Somatic sensation from where? Head, upper limb, lower limb, and also truncus. The last one tracts, saya buat purple in color. Same thing, this tract basically coming from where? Coming from your upper limb, coming from trunk, coming from your lower limb, right? Alright, again, enter your spinal cord. But eventually, what you can see here, this tract basically terminate dekat your punya spinal cord. Tract yang kita bincang tadi, PCML, posterior column medial lemniscus tract, basically enter spinal cord and terminate inside brainstem. Tapi this tract coming from upper limb, lower limb, and trunk, enter your spinal cord and terminate inside your spinal cord. From spinal cord, you can see this tract akan moving upward, straight away go to your thalamus, right? Okay, without form any synapse with brain stem. Straight away from spinal cord straight away go to your thalamus. Previously, kita bincang mengenai PCML, posterior column middle lemniscus. Once they enter your spinal cord, dia akan terminate dekat brainstem. Dia masuk ke spinal cord, straight away fiber ini akan naik sampai ke brainstem and terminate within brainstem. But this fiber, this neuron, coming from upper limb, lower limb, and trunk, enter your spinal cord and terminate inside your spinal cord. From spinal cord, you can see this tract akan arise. This tract bermula daripada spinal cord, straight away passing through your spinal cord, passing through your brainstem and terminate dekat you all punya thalamus. Right? So this tract yang ketiga kita bincangkan kelas. This tract yang ketiga. Okay, so I put yes. Okay, purple color tract. So this track adalah kita panggil sebagai, ada dua track. Actually, don't worry, you akan belajar in detail for this. Tetapi, this track ada dua jenis, right? Saya akan nyatakan dua-dua sekali. Okay, kita panggil sebagai anterior. From where class? Dia track ni bermula, spinal cord, right? Dia minit dekat mana? Thalamus. That's why track ini we call it as an anterior spinothalamic tract. And also you have two track over here sebenarnya. Okay, saya buat dua. You ada anterior dan juga you ada lateral. But somehow dia sama. Anterior and also lateral. Ada two tracks over here. Same thing, terminate dekat your punya thalamus. Satu lagi we call as a lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay. Anterior spinothalamic tracts and also lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay, please you need to remember class, right? All these tracts actually carry sensation and everything terminate dekat your thalamus. From thalamus barulah you akan jumpa internal capsule. So ini apa yang nampak, ini adalah tracts coming from where? Coming from posterior column middle lemniscus, membentuk posterior internal capsule, kemudian terminate dekat primary somatosensory area. Same thing to your anterior and also lateral spinothalamic tract. It coming from your spinal cord, terminate dekat your punya thalamus. From your punya thalamus class, dia akan membentuk you punya posteriorly internal capsule. After that, terminate dekat primary somatosensory area. So apa yang you nampak ni sekarang kelas adalah, ini adalah bundle of axon ni kelas. Ini adalah bundle of axon. Dan this bundle of axon, ini yang you panggil sebagai posterior limb internal capsule. Coming from where? Actually, it coming from your thalamus. Okay, tetapi from thalamus, as you know, ketiga-tiga ini mendapat input daripada tiga tracts yang berbeza. The first one, trigeminothalamic tract. Number two is posterior column medial lemniscus tract. And the last one is anterior and also lateral spinothalamic tracts class. Right? Okay, class. So now complete. Okay, kalau saya tanya dekat you all, what kind of sensory fiber, what kind of sensory tract passing through you all punya posterior internal capsule? Straight away, you can answer me that. Number one, trigeminothalamic tract. Number two, posterior column middle lemniscus tract. Number three, anterior spinothalamic tracts. And number four, lateral spinothalamic tract class. Okay, I think that's all class. Soalan sekali. Anything? Yes, anything?
Overall clear, sir.
What about the rest?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Clear? Okay, good. All right, okay. Actually, next you will learn in detail about this tract, right? Okay, because of some of you akan query, right? Apa beza posterior column middle lemniscus and also spinothalamic tract? Because of it's look like sama sahaja dia punya areas, alright? Because posterior column middle lemniscus dan juga spinothalamic tract actually it carries sensation from upper limb, lower limb, and also trunk. Am I right? Betul tak? So what is the difference between posterior column middle lemniscus dan juga spinothalamic tracts? Beza dia hanyalah based on type of sensation. type of sensation. Okay, because posterior column lemniscus basically carry sensations yang well defined sensation. Contohnya macam fine touch, contohnya macam two-point discriminations, contohnya macam vibrations, right? Yang mana your brain akan interpret all the sensation secara precise. Tetapi bila kita bercakap mengenai spinal tract akan carry sensation yang lebih gross, yang lebih kasar. Contohnya apa? Crude touch, okay? Contohnya pressure. What else? Contohnya even pain sensations, right? Tickle, itching, everything carried by spinal tract. So beza antara posterior column lemniscus dan juga spinal tract adalah jenis sensation dia. Jadi itu bukan kita punya concern sekarang ni adalah concern yang saya nak faham sekarang ni adalah semua tracts ini akan melalui thalamus. From thalamus, all these tracts akan membentuk posterior limb internal capsule before terminate pada primary somatosensory area of the cerebral cortex. Okay. Now you understood. Anterior limb you have different connection. Genu you have different connection. Posterior limb you have different connection. Even though this tract sitting inside same areas of the internal capsule, tetapi ada ascending, ada yang descending. Okay. Alright. Okay, kelas, same thing. Selesaikan kelas.
No, sir.
Alright, last information before kita habis. Last information class. This is thalamus. Right, so this is thalamus. Okay, simple diagram class. Green color, yes class. Apa nama tracks ni? Terminate pada your thalamus, yes class. Green color, ya tadi saya draw untuk you. This track, nama apa nama track class?
Trigeminothalamic tract.
Very good. Kita punya abbreviation dia adalah TTT. Okay, trigeminothalamic tract. And then second class, the red color saya draw untuk you all class juga akan terminate pada your thalamus. Yes, can you name it class, this track? The second one.
Posterior column.
Medial lemniscus.
Very good, right. Dia punya abbreviation dia adalah PCML. Faham? Posterior column medial lemniscus. The third one class, the purple color class, right? You have two, right? 1 and 2.
Yes.
Apa dia kelas?
Anterior spinothalamic tract.
Yeah, very good. ASTT, anterior spinothalamic tract. Yang kedua adalah
LSTT.
very good, LSTT, lateral spinothalamic tract. Everything tracks ini akan terminate pada your thalamus ni. Persoalan sekarang ni adalah dekat thalamus ni apa nuklei yang mana all this tract berakhir. Yeah, okay. Apa nama nuklei ni? Ni nuklei green color ni, grey color ni. Okay. Yes. Last information you mesti kena faham adalah all the sensation which are coming from TTT, PCML, ASTT and also LSTT, everything sensation which is derived from this tract ataupun carried by this tract akan terminate pada this thalamic nuclei. And this thalamic nuclei, please you need to remember, this thalamic nuclei kita panggil sebagai ventral posterior nucleus. Right? Sebelum ni you pernah dengar perkataan ventral anterior, right? Ventral anterior and also ventral lateral. Now you dengar yang ketiga. Nuklei yang ketiga. kita panggil sebagai ventral posterior nucleus class, right? So meaning that class, based on your diagram ini, class ini, so apa yang nampak sekarang ni, semuanya nuklei ini yang this color ni, yang saya draw ni kelas ini, semua ini adalah refer kepada VPN, which is ventral posterior nucleus class. Alright. Alright. Okay, I think finish for today class. Okay. Okay, lepas saya akan bagi this diagram. Just sketch internal capsule. Okay, that's all for today class. All right.